This is the thing. Who you choose to hang around with, who you choose to have in your posse is exactly who you become. Choose your posse wisely. I'm here to tell you that putting yourself first is not selfish, it's revolutionary. Welcome to the Woman Warrior Podcast, empowering women to light their lives on fire through Ayurveda, yoga, spirituality, and fitness.
Hello, everyone. I'm Dr. Satyavani, and I'm here along with my partner, Prajna Madhavi. And we want to welcome you to the Trainerize app, our branded app. This app has two beautiful functions that we want to share with you to get your health moving in a woman warrior direction.
So the first component is the fitness workout side, which is fabulous. With this app, trainers can give you a personalized experience based on your fitness goals, our dosha assessment, and fitness level. The app has phenomenal access to videos for each exercise so that there is very little confusion. There's also messaging capabilities so that trainers can continually keep in contact with you as you move further into your fitness journey.
The second component is the nutrition piece, because you cannot out-train a bad diet. After the initial assessment is taken, trainers can align your doshic diet to your specific exercise regimen, which means that eating more of what you need and less of what you don't. The recipes are then posted in the app where you can choose meals based on time, ingredients, and taste. And you can always refresh the menu if needed because you prefer something different.
So with these two components, along with our Ayurvedic assessment, we'll give you a unique and individualized experience that you most likely cannot find anywhere else.
I would agree with that. Mm-hmm. By using our personalized app, you'll gain knowledge of what your body needs and be on the road to becoming your best and brightest self. Welcome to our app. Jai Bhagwan, Woman Warriors, and welcome to the Woman Warrior Podcast. I'm your host, Dr. Satyavani, and
I'm your co-host, Prajna Madhavi.
Yes. I like how you articulated the entire last name.
Yeah.
Perfect. We're so happy that you're here with us today. And it is March 4th, 2026. A couple of things. First thing is, today's my brother's birthday. He is, I'm not going to say his age because he might not want me to. So anyway, Kyle, happy birthday.
Happy
Loving
birthday,
you.
Kyle.
So happy for you. You are fabulous, and I hope you're listening today. So, and also want to give an opportunity to thank our listeners. Okay? All of you make this show and make what it is that we do just amazing. And we are coming up on the 1 year mark. April is our 1 year mark. Actually, March. It might be March.
It might be March.
I think it's this month. This month is another year of our podcast, which means that this podcast has been running since 2026. Which is a huge deal. And Prajna has been my co-host for officially 3 years.
Yeah, since 2023.
It's gone by so fast.
Yeah.
And we have had the pleasure of being here at SB Studios for the past 2 years. Mm-hmm. And, or maybe 2.5. I think we might have come here to SB Studios. So as always, we give a shout out to our friends and family here at SB Studios. Thank you so much for everything it is that you do for us. And we are continuing the journey through the yamas and the niyamas. Last time we had the great Christy Williams on, who helped us introduce the concept of Satya, or truthfulness. And we always like to talk about the concept, kick it around, and then the follow-up episode come up with some action items around it. Sometimes they're remedies, and sometimes they're action items or things to think about. So we're going to discuss some action items around Satya, truthfulness, and how we can live a life of truth as we go through our journey. But beforehand, we always start out with some announcements. Announcements. I think we need like some kind of like musical thing when, I don't know, when we do announcements.
So first announcement is AWP 2.0. We had 2 info sessions.
Yes, we did
last week, and we are now half full.
Yes.
So the info sessions were a great success, and we had some people sign up from those, and still working on some people from those. So
you know who you are.
Mm-hmm. So thanks to everyone who came to those info sessions, and even the people that said, I can't do this at this time, or not, I can't, but I don't feel like I can do this at this time.
It's just not available for them right now.
Yeah. There's, potential future candidates there as well. So that was really great. AWP 2.0, we are still looking for some people to join. So if you are interested, come find us. Email us through our website.
Yes.
And get signed up because, again, we only have 6 spots left. So
I know. We start April 3rd, which is literally a month from yesterday.
Yeah.
So
it's coming up fast.
Very quickly.
So if you're interested, get on it.
And it's going to be a blast. Yeah. Check out the webpage on www.thewomanwarrioracademy.com. Go to AWP 2.0, and there's a video there. There's a testimony there. There's details about the program. And like Praj said, just email us, and we're happy to have a phone call or discuss it because we're pretty darn passionate about it. So, yeah.
Very excited. I wanted to fit in the Trainerize app because we have a client currently. I know that you have a client that's on it right now. I have a client that's working to get signed on. It's really pretty simple once you get into it if you want to be a part of our app. Now we have, Satyavani worked on getting all of the payment links.
Yes.
Just straight on the website. So if you are interested in doing the online version, whether that be 1 time a week working out, 2 or 3 days a week working out, and then also if you want nutrition added onto that, 1 day or 1, 2, or 3 days a week, there are pay points for all of those, and you just click on those payments and you pay, and then you will get the link sent to you. So I have a current client that's working on doing that. And I think making that not simpler, but talking about it is good for people to see just how easy that is.
It really is.
Interested.
And as an additional plug to the app, a lot of people can't, afford to have an in-person personal trainer. And this really is an amazing option. One of my clients that's on, I have a couple that I work really very closely with. And just to be able to get updates on a regular basis, and actually with one particular client, because they're working through just a variety of different things. Just being able to communicate through the app with some video chat, with some texting, et cetera, is really, really beneficial. And we actually authentically coach you in your program. So it's not like I sign up for an app and then there's this AI bot. It was actually funny because we do have a couple of automatic messages that get sent to people that are programmed so that when you sign up, it directs you right away. And we've pre-programmed that. And I actually had one of my clients that got the message and replied back. It says, "Thank you, Satbot." So there are some of those things that they're just to keep you in the loop and keep you updated. But we actually do communicate with you. So you actually have direct access to us through the app. It's not as if you're on your own in the whole thing. So if you're at a distance, there is a great advantage to it. And even if you are local and you're like, I just don't have the time in my schedule, or your schedule doesn't match up with a trainer or doesn't match up with one of us, it's a phenomenal option. Yeah. So,
yeah, our slogan is, people ask us, what do we do? We're like, what do you need? Do you need one in-person session here and there and then be on the app? Do you need nutrition? If not, then you don't have to be on nutrition. We have lots of different options. And that includes moving into the GLP-1 program as well. That's going to be a similar story where you just basically choose the package that you feel like you need to be on or want to be on. And you will have the link there.
Yep.
And you'll be able to sign up for that as well. So really excited to have that in the app as well.
Yes. So. And the GLP-1 program, there is all of the information on the website about the GLP-1 program. We just don't have the payment links set up just yet. I'm actually going back and forth with Bill for our web developer because there's a couple of wireframes. I'm pretty technologically savvy, but there's a couple of things that I'm just like, I'm not quite sure. So just waiting to hear about that, but more to come. And we had a very successful GLP-1 program workshop this past weekend. So do you want to talk about that a little bit? What were some of the things that came up? Because I think it's important for our audience to know the depth and the breadth of what we discuss and how that gets framed with the Vedic sciences.
Yeah, if I can remember.
It was 100 years ago.
Yeah. think about some of the questions. I mean, the first question we had to ask is, do people know what GLP-1s are? Some people were not quite sure what they were. Then you start naming them off, and they're like, oh, yeah, I've heard about those. Just talking about a lot of the loss of muscle that happens with the GLP-1, that GLP-1 is a natural occurring thing in your body, and why are we then artificially, shooting it into our system, and how that kind of leads to certain side effects, and just the importance of proper nutrition and proper exercise when you are either on the GLP-1 or trying to avoid the GLP-1.
Or coming off of it.
We had, our kind of firsthand accounts with clients that have been on GLP-1s and what they've experienced, plateauing, really low calorie, loss of muscle, and how they kind of have to start all over again. And then I remember Jesse's question at the end of, when you have people around you that are on GLP-1s, how do you kind of create a healthy, positive discussion about that? And that's kind of hard.
It is.
A lot of people walking around on them that maybe don't want to either bring it up or don't want to feel bad that they're on it, or don't want to be, labeled, or
Well, and the perspective that we have about GLP-1s and that we put out there on the floor, immediately with the workshop, is that this is not like a shaming thing or anything like that. Like, how can we best support you if it is something it is that you want to do, are doing, coming off of, et cetera, wherever it is that you are, because there are alternatives to it. And Steve Williamson, shout out to Steve Williamson, who brought up a phenomenal question, who's actually in the healthcare field professionally. And he just said, how many of the off-label, off-prescription, non-doctor monitored GLP-1s are out there, and how people are getting them and all of that. And that's my cause for concern, that there's just no monitoring. And I'm not saying that a Western allopathic doctor monitoring it is necessarily the solution, but to be able to order GLP-1s like you would order something off of Amazon, that concerns me, because you are changing a lot inside of your body. And one of the things that we talked about, which also was brought up by Corey Bowman, was the effect. He had a great question about what effect it has on the gut biome.
Yeah.
And I think that's something that we don't discuss. And in Ayurveda, we talk about it a lot, because gut health, one's Agni, digestive fire, is probably one of the keys, if not the key, to long sustainable health. So, yeah. But it was a good workshop. Great discussion.
It was. Yeah, it's sketchy even buying supplements off of Amazon now. I can't imagine doing a GLP-1.
Yes.
Knowing that that's what you're getting.
Yeah. Well, and that's why we, when we talk about supplements, we lean towards, companies like Maharishi Ayurveda USA. Shout out to our peeps over there.
Shout out, Maharishi.
Yes, because we know the quality, and we know the people, and we know, it's like knowing your farmer.
Farm to table.
Yes, know your supplement maker. Know who
you're eating it. You're putting it in your body.
Know the person who's compounding it, and to have that intimate relationship is super important. So, shout out to Maharishi Ayurveda USA. So,
speaking of sketchy, do you want to talk about the magazine? I didn't put it on here, but might be time.
It is. Okay, so. Why don't you introduce this? Introduce this, please. Introduce this. This is an important announcement.
Yeah.
And I want to give a shout out to Almeen Barton, because she did bring it to our attention.
She did.
From jump. And
She's
I did.
Been there.
Yep. And I did not dismiss it. I actually just wanted to investigate it for myself.
Yeah.
Go.
How did we even get the information? Was it an email?
I think it was an email.
Or maybe on Instagram or something. It was a magazine that was basically saying you could be on the cover of. Do we want to disclose it?
Let's keep that off the table. For those who have supported us with this, know.
Yeah, you know what magazine, because you've supported us.
And just go to our social media pages. It's fine.
Be on the front of this magazine and with an attempt to win $20,000. And so you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. So
Absolutely.
I called you and you're like, hey, I just saw this on Instagram, so I think I'm going to enter. And you're like, yeah, me too. Let's
do it.
Yeah, with
See
our
what
goal of if one of us makes it, then we'll just talk about how we want to both be on the cover.
Right.
Like, sweet.
So we can share the mission.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, so then we put our hat in the running and
Got really far.
yeah, got pretty far. And there's definitely some red flags with the whole system.
Yes. And I think that this is important as a discussion surrounding Satya, truthfulness.
Yes.
This is
Perfect time.
relevant. Perfect timing, girl. You're so good. So the magazine, we put our hat in the running, and then there's this series of voting that happens. You have to post about it on social media and get your friends and family to vote for you.
Well, first you have to talk about your background.
Right.
And like why you do what you do. And so that all
Yes.
seemed very legit. And
Totally
like,
legit. Like it was an application process.
and then they're like, you made
Right.
the cut.
Right. You made the cut to be in the running.
Mhm.
And then they were making voting cuts. So it was like, what did it start out
Top
with?
20.
Top 20 was the first,
Mhm.
and then top 15, then top 10.
Mhm.
And each of these voting like sections where the field got more and more narrow went on for a week. And I think the first round, it even went on for 2 weeks. Like it was long.
Yeah.
And then there was this option for the people who were voting for you to buy votes.
Yeah.
They could pay for votes. Where
I mean, they could always pay for votes.
Yes. Okay. Was that from Jump?
Yeah, from
Okay.
jump.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So they could pay for votes where it was like, hey, buy 10 votes for $1 or I don't know, or 10 votes for $10. I don't know, et cetera. And that the money was being then donated to this nonprofit organization that I was told in a follow-up email was disclosed to us at the application period. I don't remember any of that.
I don't either.
And apparently, so I'll put that aside for a second. So the money was going towards a nonprofit organization that I didn't know about, I didn't hear about, I didn't know. And for the record, it's not like you and I just throw our hat in the ring and just like don't do our research. You know, we're very specific with the types of supplements that we use. We're very specific with the types of products we buy, you know, those kinds of
It's a
things.
fairly well-known magazine, and
Right. Exactly. So
it wasn't like Hustler or something.
that would have been a trip.
Made the cut.
Made the cut on Hustler.
Girl, what did you put on that application?
Well, based on some of the candidates' photos. So
that
you
is
also had to
true.
submit photos.
Those of you who've seen it know
Right.
what we're talking about.
And I didn't know that you could see the other candidates
I
that
didn't-
you
yeah,
were running
forever.
against until a very wonderful friend of ours and member of Fit Body Boot Camp brought it to my attention and like sent me photos of the other candidates that were, you know, competing against us.
Yeah.
And some of these photos, a couple of them I don't think were even real. Like they were definitely AI. And then there were a couple that were like, maybe this is Hustler Magazine's competition. And then there were a couple that were, you know, normal, you know, et cetera. Long story short, not to bore all of you with this story because
You
we
could very
don't.
quickly see that it was just like popularity contest. It was a way for them to get money.
Yes.
And I felt like basically I was if I'm gonna win this, I'm winning $20,000 that my friends put into this.
Bingo.
Was the feeling that we
Yes.
were getting.
That we were having people pay for votes. And actually, we were also very, very, very specific with, we told people when we found out that you had the option to pay for votes, do not pay for votes.
Yeah.
We did not want that. So I sent a strongly worded email to, and Praj made the top 10, and then there was a cut for the final 5. And that cut you didn't make, but I did. And apparently they're making a decision tomorrow, and you have to be number 1. And I'm still number 5. And
Yeah.
so like, it's not even going to happen. So it doesn't matter. And for the record, this is not us sharing this because we're bitter about the no. but rather truthfulness in advertising.
Yeah.
Okay. And I sent a strongly worded email that, outlined what it is that we just discussed and said, in a world where, especially right now, where integrity and inauthenticity is all over the place, integrity is being questioned, like, do better.
Yeah.
Do better. And so we just wanted to share that with all of you, because if you have seen that in our social media feeds, we wanted you to know the back end story to all of that, because what we stand for with the Woman Warrior Academy and with this podcast is super important to us. It is our heart and our soul and our integrity. And like, we will live and die by that. And if you don't live and die by your integrity, you have nothing.
Yeah.
You have absolutely nothing, because everything in life is about your Satya, your truthfulness, how you put your feet forward, the relationships that it is that you build, the integrity and the honesty around those relationships. And honestly, if you don't have that, it's not worth shit.
Yeah.
So,
but we do really appreciate all the support we got. If anything, it was a nice show of, supportive people wanting to see us win, and for us to make top 10, top 5. I mean, I was like, she's going to be the one that wins before I do, because she knows more people than I do.
But again, that is a testament to the fact that it was, how many people do you know?
Yeah. I really kind of felt that going into it, but I was like, we'll see.
We'll see what happens. But look at how far.
Yeah.
Look how far you went.
Yeah.
And also, I think some of the algorithms that they were doing, it was like you were in first place, and then all of a sudden you went from first to fifth, and it was just like, it just kind of swapped all over the place. I mean, I've held steady at fifth place in my group for 2 or 3 weeks now, but it was just, I don't know, like, it was just something that was really
weighing on us.
Yeah.
Beware of things out there.
Yeah.
And yeah.
But it was also a really good exercise in self-evaluation and self-reflection about truthfulness and what that means to us.
Yep.
So, yeah. I'm glad you brought that up. Thank you.
Yeah.
All right.
You're welcome.
All right.
Okay.
So, anything else on that front?
That's it.
Brief wellness check-in. Go.
Starting Grayson's workouts today.
Awesome. Yay!
I haven't been that out of breath in years. Thanks a lot, Grayson.
Since December.
I was doubled over in pain because I ate something right before I worked out.
Oh, that's right. I'm sorry. I'm not laughing at you.
I want to have energy. Shouldn't have eaten the whole thing. Probably just half. So I was a little doubled over, but yeah, I was sucking air. I was really struggling. After that 3 rounds of assault bike, I was like, this is stupid. I hate this. My quads are on fire, and it's good for me because I hate cardio. I hate doing cardio now. I feel like I did it too much in my life, and now I hate it. And this is forcing me to do it, and it sucks, but I'm doing it anyway. So thanks, Grayson.
You can do hard things.
Yep. And really trying to be cognizant of my knee and making sure that it, I iced it right after and trying to do all the things. Then that was kind of an ego check. So my energy was like double middle finger to all of this. And at the same time, I'm like, this is good for me because this is what's going to make me better. Yes. So that was good around it all.
And you are not going to feel this way in a month or 2 from now.
Yeah.
You have to remember, like, we've been off since December, and it's been lovely.
I've kind of always been off, aside from competition days. Competition, I'm just like, all right, let's do this. Wasn't much prepping up to. I mean, I did some like rowing machine.
Some things.
I did some of that.
So stepped over the box.
This is good for me. Yeah. So my energy 2 hours ago was terrible, but right now it's pretty good. And mental emotional, again, it's really good for me to do these hard things and do stuff that I don't want to do because it's going to make me better, and it's going to make me a better teammate, and it's going to make me my health better cardiovascularly.
Yes.
It's going to be good for that. It's going to strengthen my legs. As much as I hate the bike, it's going to strengthen my quads so that my knee doesn't hurt as bad. And so intuitively,
It's intuitively I'm saying, why am I doing this?
yes. In fact, when Satyavani brought this up, she's like, hey, Grayson called me today. And I'm like, oh, fuck.
No, I reached out to him and he just messaged me back.
Okay.
Yes.
So she started it.
It always is.
So I talked to Grayson and I'm like, oh, God damn it. Okay, what do we have to do now? So my intuition was, here we go again.
It really is like this, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, my intuition is like, oh boy. And then
My intuition is I need a new best friend.
but my mind talks me out of it for some reason. No, it's good for me. So, and then spiritually,
I saw God today.
I saw God today when I was almost out of breath. I mean, you really do. You get into that euphoric. Again, it is going to get easier. It really sucked at a certain point today. I mean, some would say it really doesn't get easier because if you push yourself every single time, and it doesn't get easier, but you recover faster and you have more.
You
fortitude.
adapt.
Yeah. And like sports, active things, you can be in that flow state, and that's a very kind of spiritual way that athletes deal with things. So I'm excited to get there. I don't think I got there today, but maybe in the future I'll be in my flow state.
I have a question based on this. So when you look back at your like athletic career, did athletics come easy for you where training didn't have to be intense because you could still be good?
No.
Okay. No, you're like, no.
I think that's why I hate it so much.
Okay.
It was never easy.
Okay.
It was all about,
Because you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
People who have that natural ability.
I'm a gazelle. I
Right.
can just
Right. And you're like, fuck you. Right.
take one step and launch to the middle of the court. Yeah.
Right. So the training element for them is less or different because they just have that, natural ability to just dominate.
Mine has always been work ethic.
Yeah.
I just do it so much that I get better at it.
Yeah.
And I just work hard at it, sadly.
No, it's not sad.
I mean, it's got me to where I am, and
Great.
it's just really hard. So I think about,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. Like I'm going to have to keep doing this to get better. Yay.
I'd like to issue a public apology. and this is the thinking. I will share this with the thinking because I know that some of the things that we do together have been initiated by me. Okay. All of them. I'm like, let's learn how to fight. Okay.
We're going to be Hawaii. Let's surf. I'm like, what?
Yeah, we signed up for Spartan Hawaii. I'm
Surfing
excited.
at 49. Okay.
I can't believe you've never surfed in your life.
I grew up in the Midwest.
I know.
There's nowhere to surf.
But you said that your brother lived in Hawaii and you had visited.
Once.
Oh, and you didn't.
Surfing was not on the
That wasn't
top of
on
my
the agenda? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
When you grow up in the Midwest and neither one of your parents can swim.
Your parents cannot swim.
Water sports is not in your purview
It's fair.
at all.
No, that's totally fair.
My mom never learned, and my dad had polio as a kid. And
That's
he was almost an iron lung. And so his
Wow.
I don't know if it's the what's
Epiglottis.
the valve that's in the back of the throat.
Yep.
Sometimes it will close on him, or kind of paralysis, and it will close. So I remember times as a kid, he has to swallow a certain way to kind of shove it over to the side.
Oh,
But
didn't
sometimes
know
as
that.
a kid,
I knew he had polio, but I didn't know this.
he would get it stuck. And I remember like one day in particular, he couldn't breathe. And I was like, what do?
Right.
And I was like, Dad, are you okay? And he was just like, just wait. And he was trying to like,
Gain his breath back.
kind of shift it over. So swimming,
Gotcha.
Swimming was
Believe it
not
or
my thing.
not, swimming actually would have been great for him.
yeah.
To build up that, lung capacity and respiratory strength. So,
Yeah.
I was like a fish
Yeah.
from jump. So, and I have to say, even though I'm not really I don't swim right now. I mean, when we went to the Caribbean,
You remember me in Trinidad.
right.
Michael's like, just go under the waves. And I'm like, yeah. Right.
Sure, Michael.
I'm just going to let him hit me.
Yeah.
I figured it out, though. I started
You did.
diving under the waves.
You did, which was great.
Yeah.
I'm not afraid of the water. And I will say I'm very happy that it's a skill that I have.
Mm-hmm.
It's a skill that I have. So it's a good one.
It's a good skill.
But I again, going back to the public service announcement, I do realize that a lot of the things it is that we do have been initiated by me.
Mm.
And it's always to benefit you. It is, believe it or not, I actually have your best interests in mind.
I think
do.
He's going to hate this, and we're going to do it.
Do it anyway. But actually part of getting back into training with Grayson through, his app and then doing the one-on-ones is because like I need coaching.
Yeah.
I want to be coached. I think every trainer, every coach needs to have their own trainer or coach.
Otherwise I would never do cardio until race day.
Exactly. And then that's not helpful.
No.
So I'm a strong believer that if you want to live a life of purpose, that you have to practice what it is that you preach, and you also need to call in assistance where that, would I do that work on my own? Sure, I probably would. Would I do it to the degree that I can stretch myself to? I'm not sure. And that's where a coach comes in. A coach helps you stretch your abilities. It helps stretch your goals. It helps stretch your fears, helps you get beyond your fears. And that's the whole point of having a coach. And I think that, the two of us, we coach so many people that it's also nice to say, you know what, I actually need help.
I need accountability.
Yes.
It's something I don't like. Like when I called you this morning, I'm like, so are we supposed to do this workout today? It's Wednesday. It's on here. You're like, yep. And I'm like,
oh. But the good news was that you only had to do half.
Thank God.
Because I wasn't,
25
I'm
calories on that assault bike was not going to happen today.
No.
At that pace.
No, not at all. So anyway.
Brutal.
Physically feel great. I started.
You're starting your cut?
I did. I started a little bit of a cut, little calorie deficit. It was funny. I actually got a super nice compliment from one of my clients who is completely restructuring his diet and all that. And I said, hey, I'm in it with you. I'm doing a calorie cut. And he's like, why? And I was like, why do you ask? And he's like, because you're already jacked. And I was like, oh, that was so sweet. So thanks, Gabe. Appreciate you.
Shout out to Gabe.
But yes. And actually, I'll say I struggled. For the first couple of days out of the gate are tough. It's like cutting back 300 calories a day doesn't seem like, shh. So pissed at you. It's a lot. It's a lot. For a pitta, it's a lot.
It is a lot.
I was like,
no problem.
I was like, I'm angry. I understand my cat now, why he's 15 and a half pounds. He's like, I'm pitta. I want to eat. So I do understand. But so today is Wednesday. I started it on Sunday. And I'm in the flow. I'm in it now. Now, I know, the drill, which is great. And I'm psyched I have to do the Grayson workout this afternoon because of how the schedule fell today. But that's okay. Energetically, it's always interesting when I cut back on carbs, how energetically I actually feel better.
Yeah.
I think the carbs to glucose to sugar, so just that small cutback has been really good. It's very interesting with the full moon lunar eclipse. I know that happened yesterday, so that's been very interesting, just seeing how all that's shaking out. But energetically, also seeing the sun start to come up in the morning a little bit earlier is, I literally feel like I'm becoming alive again.
Yeah,
coming out of it. So 16 days until spring. Yes. Yep. And mentally, emotionally, super focused. Just really feel everything is coming together. And I'm very excited about how AWP is coming together. And the women, the right women, not that there's a wrong woman out there, but the right group of women is forming. And that feels mentally, emotionally very sound for me, because this program it's a big one, as you know. It's a big one, and I want us to do a really good job with it.
Yeah.
And I know that we will, and I know they'll have a good experience. And intuitively, that tells me that we're doing the right things. I knew that we were supposed to sign up for Spartan Hawaii, so we're going. I'm very excited. And spiritually, I feel very, very connected to all of these universal changes that are happening in the world right now. Like, a lot of people are looking at it as doom and gloom. And I keep saying we have to go through this phase in order for the truth, the Satya, to come out. And so, like, yeah, this is a tough season right now, but we're going to be okay, friends. We're going to be okay. So,
yeah, to that, not everyone, not many people that I know, but general public, like, what are you doing about it?
yes.
Are you working on yourself?
Mm-hmm.
That's all you can do.
Yep.
Sitting around saying the world's going to shit, it's not helping.
No, it actually adds nothing.
Yeah. So that's hard to watch. It's hard to watch on social media. It's hard to watch with people. Like,
but there's also, even on social media, there's also this movement of
yes,
awareness. And people are also, like, they're bringing forth a lot of Satya, a lot of truthfulness.
Yeah.
That
is happening.
That they might not have said during COVID.
Yeah.
You know, where everybody was, kind of jockeying what it is that they wanted to say, whether it was about health, about politics, about lifestyle, like whatever the case was. And I think people are being more vocal about it in a generous way, but I also think that it's being received differently. 6 years ago, there was a lot of...
Right. Is out.
Yeah. I mean...
People feel much more comfortable because now the
facts are facts.
Science backs it up.
Right.
Like, yeah, it's more comfortable when everybody else believes in that too.
Right.
It wasn't so comfortable when half the population or whatever didn't believe it, and you were saying the opposite.
I kind of miss being labeled a conspiracy theorist. I do. Like, I wore that moniker very proudly. And now, I'm teasing, I'm happy that people are waking up to this truthfulness and seeing if they have to see the evidence because energetically they don't feel it, then it's working. Yeah. Like, good.
I mean, the biggest thing about Satya is, one thing that I would always teach my students is there's always multiple sides of the truth.
Yes.
And you don't know any truth other than what happens to you and how you experience it. That's really the only truth you have. And so I think people have now been through the experience of COVID and been through the experience of post-vaccination or whatever, and seeing the statistics and having that experience, and they're now starting to make those decisions. And yeah.
To that end, thank you for that. To that end, just going back to our GLP-1 conversation for a second, folks out there, again, our job is not to judge, et cetera. We provide 5,000 years of health history through the Vedic sciences. The only thing that I'm hoping everybody will do, and that we want to commission, is use the experience of COVID post-vaccination to help inform you about the new GLP-1 craze.
Be informed.
Just be informed.
Make an informed decision.
Yes. They're not different. They are not different.
A lot of people are making an impulsive decision.
Look at the long-term implications, and look, if you think that we're absolutely nuts and you still subscribe to certain things, that's fine. What I would suggest then is follow the money.
Yeah.
If you need that kind of evidence, just follow the money and then make your own decisions. But vaccinations and that discussion and GLP-1s currently, those two conversations are not different.
Yeah.
That's it. Public service message.
Yep.
So,
how do we live this life life truthfully for the long term in all earnestness.
I love that. So here are the action steps for living a Satya life, a truthful life. We've got 5 big categories, and we're going to share. So, Praj, why don't you start with category 1?
Personal relationships.
Oh, I love that you got this one because you're an expert.
Speaking honestly with care. So being kind, but also honest. It's a nice balance. Being honest with others about our lives, thoughts, and through our actions. Be kind with your honesty. Respecting other people's truth. I really do try to do that because I do feel that we are all going through different experiences, and someone's beliefs are, a lot of it is based on past experiences that they've had.
Yes.
And so that's what they believe to be true. And I can't necessarily talk them out of that. No. Nor should I. So listening to their side, I like to ask a lot of questions.
Yes.
Without, spouting what I think to be true. Asking a lot of questions. I find that that's a good way to get through that.
To that end, if I can just add something, this particular thing about, speaking honestly and with care, it reminds me of our lineage teachings with Swami Kripalu. Before you speak, decide whether or not it's an improvement upon silence. And I think that in and of itself is not only speaking honestly, but it is with care. And it's honoring the other person. So
setting boundaries is number 2.
Good one.
A lot of people are not good with that. You need to know what is going to probably tip you over the edge and examine what might do that. And then you need to set a boundary before you get to the edge and fall off of it. And then you tend to say things that maybe you don't mean, or say things that maybe aren't true. Setting boundaries are really big, I think, in personal relationships, and those get crossed all the time. Being authentic, which we really try to be. Show up as yourself rather than performing a version of yourself. To be liked or accepted. That's about all I've got on that.
I love it.
Out of the 2 of us, I'm the quieter one. But that doesn't seem to mean that I am the less intimidating one, as I'm finding.
No, not at all.
It's like sometimes that can intimidate in a different way. And I really am just trying to be authentic, that I don't talk a lot. I try to listen. Again, ask questions. And sometimes people do not like that very much or get a little unnerved with that.
Because it's what's going on in that brain of hers.
A lot of things. I'm thinking about the Titanic splitting in half. And we're going to have to go to that side of the ship. So a lot of times it's not what you think is going on in my head. A lot of the times it's doom and gloom about something completely unrelated. Not sharing gossip or things you don't know to be true. I think that's a really big one for people.
Yes.
There's a lot of gossip that ends up happening. And that's actually something that we experienced in our meeting yesterday about, this is the way we do things, and we'd like you to not, go against what we believe to members and other teachers, things like that, coaches. And because, if you don't know it to be true and you're still learning the process, then why would you share something that's not, that's just off the top of your head, or something that could be hurtful to someone?
Agreed.
So.
Agreed.
Yeah. That kind of leads into those
the second area.
Personal relationships,
right?
Your workplace,
right? Which is interpersonal in a lot of ways. Yeah.
So maybe not quite so close people to you. Maybe they are really close. I mean, really, when you think about it, if you're in a 9-to-5, you're with those people a lot.
A lot.
Maybe even more than your personal relationships, your spouse. So this might even be more important in your workplace. So really the personal relationships, I think, kind of carry over. Being honest in your dealings with coworkers, employers, customers. So speak honestly with care. I mean, being honest with them up front, have the integrity, be authentic. You know, what you say it's going to cost, it needs to cost.
Well, and I think as an entrepreneur, and for those who are entrepreneurs out there and owning your own business, this is the key.
Mm-hmm.
If you are not honest in your dealings with clients and colleagues, that will come back.
Yeah. I had someone, I think it was Andy Frisella actually, on his podcast was talking about when you're an entrepreneur, people like to think they're your own boss, but you're not.
No.
You are, the customers are your boss. Like they're the ones that dictate whether you're going to eat tonight or not.
Or not.
Like you have to keep. And he was always also talking about you got to keep the customers that are long-term customers, you got to keep them happy.
Yep.
Like
they're your biggest
crucial.
advocates.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's why I also really love BNI, because that's something in BNI that is constantly reinforced.
Yeah.
And so every week we are reminded of that.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's why BNI networking works very well.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Giving constructive feedback. Speak up about issues or concerns with honesty and respect instead of gossiping or staying silent. I mean, I witnessed this with our meeting yesterday. Like just airing things out, bringing things out in the open. Like, what is going on with personal training? Like, did you guys want to pick this up or are we picking it up? And it was a constructive meeting.
It was great. It was
We were
great.
honest and we were kind and respectful and yeah.
And I think it was well received. And in return, we received the same thing back, which was fantastic. So, yeah.
So kudos to the people that we were talking to yesterday. And then acknowledging mistakes. I think this is big too.
Huge.
You're going to make mistakes and you're going to make errors. And so just own them. That's another thing about in your workplace. Don't pretend like you know something. That was in teaching. It's like, don't say that you know something when you don't. Then it's going to come back and bite you in the ass. So if I don't know a statistic, if I don't know something, I was always like, I don't know. I'm going to look that up and find out for you. And so I was constantly kind of on the side computer, like looking things up. Because
you're not going to know everything.
The kids who love history are always like asking those questions like, do you know about this? And like, why would I know about that? I don't care. But I'm going to look it up for you.
And I'm going to find out.
Yeah. And sometimes the questions were really good. And sometimes they were just trying to catch me.
Of course.
Wondering if I would try to say that they know, I know because they actually do know.
Right.
And so that, I'm like, you little bugger.
Right.
But acknowledging mistakes, own up to it when you've made a mistake. That was crucial in teaching and still crucial in my job today.
That actually came up recently for me. And we have a mutual colleague who, came to me from a place of love and was inquiring about, I'll be straight up, some shitty behavior that I had. And, and the thing that was interesting is that the behavior was the result of something entirely different. Yeah. It had nothing to do with my colleague at all, but for her to come to me and say, hey, is everything all right? Is anything going on here? Are you happy, et cetera, really touched my heart, because it's so easy nowadays to just go around a person's back and talk about them, behind their back, or start to initiate gossip. And that's when toxic workplaces start to develop. But instead, she came to me and I really, really appreciated it. And actually, my heart hurt that I hurt her. Yeah. And the thing, and because it was completely unintentional.
Based on her past experiences, it hit
in life,
her, it hit her different.
Absolutely. And I'm a naturally sarcastic, obnoxious person. That, native New Yorkers, we don't take things, we don't really take things seriously in terms of it takes a lot to, how should I say, it takes a lot to offend us, and so I have to remember that the way I go through life is not the way other people go through life. And also how people show up and what they show up for is not the same way that I show up.
Yeah.
And I have to remember that. And I said to her, I said, I own that. You are absolutely right. I own that. And that's been a big thing for me especially like the past 5-6 years. I 100% own everything it is that I do. I take full responsibility for that. And you've heard me say it a million times, like, I own that. There's not a thing you can tell me about me that I don't know. Yeah. And so it felt good to practice that, that truthfulness, that Satya with a colleague that was like, hey, I'm observing this. And then for me to be like, you know what, you're right. I was acting like a total dick. And I also want to explain where that was coming from, not as a justification, but as an explanation. Mm-hmm. And I took the day and sat back and said, okay, I was a shitty human in this situation. Like, how can I refine that? How can I change my attitude? How can I, shift it? Yeah. Because, from like a constitution standpoint, pittas, when we are out of balance and intensity starts to crank up, we get sharp.
You fight.
We do. We get sharp. And I have to remember that not every experience has to come out guns blazing. So thanks, Anita.
Mm-hmm. All right. That's all I've got for number 2 for the workplace.
Okay. So the other category where we can practice Satya is lifestyle. I like how these flow. It's like personal relationships, workplace relationships, and now your lifestyle. So what are some action items around that? Let's be true to our own needs in terms of sleep, nutrition, movement, and personal time. Ooh. What I love about this is it is foundational. Mm-hmm. You have to be 100% honest with yourself in those categories of need. Mm-hmm. Because if your sleep, your nutrition, your movement, and your own personal time is not fulfilled, everything else goes sideways.
A lot of people are finding out in the HBC challenge. Like, I didn't realize that I took so few steps.
I didn't realize I was so dehydrated. Mm-hmm. I didn't realize that I was really only getting 6 hours of sleep when I really need 8. Mm-hmm. And so they're great tracking mechanisms. And I love that. So being honest, like, how much sleep do I need? Where's my nutritional space? And for the record, like, personal trainers and fitness people can help you with this. Yeah. Like, if you don't know, let a professional help you, which is great.
Yeah. I sent one client like 5 different links yesterday, mm-hmm. Just of like the Veda jar and Paleo Valley beef sticks, and like, here's a protein powder that you can try. Like,
always
like 5 different things. She's like, thanks.
I know. I'm gonna start putting those links like electronically because
so they can sponsor us. Right, well,
so you see, because
when we get big,
when we're so huge, specifically because a lot of clients ask this, same questions. Like, we're not reinventing the wheel here. So rather,
but they want to know what we do.
Absolutely.
Like, how do you do this? I'm like, well,
here we go.
This is my experience.
Right. And here's some options.
Yeah.
Which is great. Aligning choices with your values. As we explained with the magazine situation earlier today, it just wasn't in alignment with our values. And so it was.
If you value sleep, do your actions align with that?
Yes.
Are you on your computer right before you go to bed, on your phone right before you go to bed? Mm-hmm. I'm guilty of that sometimes.
Oh, yeah.
Wonder why I didn't get a good 8 hours of sleep. It's because I was staring at my phone for 5 minutes.
Right. Before I went to bed. And one of the things that's in this, which I really appreciate, is not glorifying being busy all the time. We have the disease of busyness in our culture, and that is not contributing positively to your lifestyle.
Busy does not necessarily mean productive.
No, and more isn't better. It's just more. Mm-hmm. And from a lifestyle standpoint, being clear about what matters to you. Choose how you spend your time, your energy, and resources in ways that reflect what you genuinely care about. And I think we talk about that a lot on this podcast. You have to put yourself first. And to reinforce it to all the ladies out there and the smart men who are listening to this podcast, just because you do that does not make you selfish.
Yeah.
Stop with the guilt. It's unnecessary and it's negative energy, and you don't need it. And letting go of pretending. Release the pressure to appear perfect or have everything together. See, I have no problem with expressing that I can be a lot. I actually said that to like potential employers or people who want to contract. I'm like, look, folks, I'm a lot. And if you're not up for a lot, it's cool. I get it. I am not perfect by any stretch of the imagination, but I can be a lot. And being honest about that. I'm not pretending to be anybody. It is that I'm not. And pretending to be perfect is hard. And it sucks the ojus out of you. And I think that there are these whole communities of people that are constantly trying to be perfect, and they're keeping up with the Joneses, and they're, trying to present this veneer. Guess what? We all have an alcoholic uncle. Yeah. We all have a mentally ill mother. We all have fill in the blank.
We're all going to die.
We are all going to die. So cut the shit with the I've got to be perfect situation and be authentic and honest. Because people actually engage with you more, value you more, love you more, want to see you win more when you are authentic and honest.
Or at least you're going to find the right people. At least.
Yes.
Yeah.
Community. Next category, number 4, is community. How are we truthful in community? Speak up for justice, and help in your community in an authentic way that feels good for you, that you're not pretending, participating in your community to the level that is available to you, and also acknowledging that harm and exclusion in community spaces do happen. And what are you doing about it? One of the things that recently came up in our community, and this might not be an attractive or fun thing to bring up, and I'm not saying it to be political, but there were a lot of feelings and a lot of people speaking up about ICE opening up an administrative office here in our community that was space rented to them by St. Luke's Hospital. So that was a very interesting dialogue, and a lot of people were speaking up about that from a justice standpoint.
Yeah.
So that's just one example that was happening here in Boise, Idaho. But also there's many other things that, we see, that these little things that happen in our community every single day. And it could be as much as like trash that's on the street. Like we don't want dirty streets. If you see it, pick it up.
Yeah. This one's a very interesting one because you mentioned the ICE
office.
Thank you. We've lost our ability to have dialogue with one another.
Yes.
So one person's justice is another person's injustice.
Yes.
And vice versa. It's like we've lost that ability to even talk about why we're doing things. What is the purpose behind it? It's a job for those ICE agents. They have families it's amazing to me how we've just lost that dialogue to even have that it has to be one or the other.
Yes.
I don't know. That's, when we're talking about community, like we have to create an environment where we can actually have dialogue.
And not be penalized for it.
Yes.
I think that's one of the biggest things. I think a lot of the reason why people don't activate and speak up in their community, regardless of what they're...
Because they're going to get hit.
Exactly. Because...
How dare you? You're this hater or that...
Right. They're going to be ostracized. Or even worse, if it's a business owner, their business being subjected to that.
Yeah.
that sucks. That sucks, which to your point is sharing honestly. When it's appropriate, share the reel, not just your highlight reel. And I think, again, that goes back to
big on highlight reels.
Like, look how perfect my life is. Look how great my community is, etc. Every community has amazing things that are happening, and every community has a dark side.
Yeah.
And like, that's the yin and yang of life. And at the same time, being able to be honest about those things, have open dialogue, and not for there to be penalties around that. And if we could create communities that are like that, wow, that would be amazing.
Yeah.
And then finally, our last one.
Earth and environment.
How are we honest with the earth and environment, Ms. Madhavi?
Yes, Mother Earth. Stay informed to a point, because there's a lot of information out there that, again, you don't know if it's the truth or not. Avoid denial or disconnection. Okay, so we call that inertia, right? The Thomas, right?
Yep.
Where you're just sticking your head in the sand, like, I don't see anything happening. Like, oh, there's stuff happening to the earth and to the environment. So it's good to be aware of it, even when the truth is uncomfortable. But just staying informed on all sides, trying to get, again, information leads to the next one, making conscious choices. So, I mean, this could be, there's lots of different options out there. Like if you think about the people who are environmentally friendly yoga pants. Like if that's your jam,
do the thing.
Find the earth conscious yoga pants. Like it's great to support sustainable practices as expressions of living truthfully. Farm to table, regenerative farming over conventional farming. I mean, I grew up on a farm, and having a discussion with my dad about pesticides that we used to use and how they're not good, and that's a rough one because he had to. Basically, they were put in a corner and had to use those things back in his day,
or they would be bankrupted.
So, that's his truth, and I understand that, and I'm just like. And I still want you to stop using Roundup.
Yes.
Things like that. Educating others with care. So that was a conversation that it was not the most comfortable conversation when I had that conversation with my father. He was not comfortable with it. He got actually kind of angry with me. And I was just like, just trying to inform him about it, but not demonizing him for his point of view, because understanding his background and understanding his truth and what he felt like he had to do to support his family.
Well, and also understanding that at that time, the knowledge and information that was out there was very different than it is now. I mean, knowledge and information now is just abundant.
It was like tobacco in the 50s. Like,
yes,
when you're not told how bad it is, until the 80s.
Right.
And then all of a sudden it's bad for you. Like, well, then what have I been doing for the last 30 years?
Yep.
Now they knew. And tobacco companies just happen to take over our food industry.
Just in case you weren't sure.
Just in case you weren't sure what they've been feeding us for the last
30 years.
30, 40 years. So sharing factual, grounded information about environmental issues while avoiding shaming, alarmism. Again, having good dialogue, authentic dialogue, asking questions, not getting super angry about it.
Or heated up.
And that's emotional regulation.
Yeah. That's emotional mastery.
Which I talked about in the last podcast. Having control over your emotions.
It's huge.
Yes. Yeah.
Actually, emotional mastery out of all of this is probably the ultimate truth. If you can master your emotions in situations that become very challenging, that is the light of the soul coming through, which is the ultimate truth. Your soul is authentic and pure. It's the mind that hijacks us. It's what's out there in the world that hijacks us. And so when we actually listen to the soul, that is the vehicle for honesty. Yeah. And I love it. Final segment, friends. Truth bomb. Or what lights us up.
Yes.
Go ahead,
I found
Prash.
this on Instagram. It's a bit long, but I'm going to go through it because there's a lot of good stuff in here. Fitness isn't broken. It's been replaced by shortcuts. And people are confusing weight loss with competence. You don't have a peptide deficiency, you have discipline deficiency, depending on the type of peptides that we're talking about. Anyone can suppress appetite and drop 20 pounds, now build 10 pounds of muscle after that. That's where most people disappear. Fat loss is easy when hunger is muted. Building muscle requires mechanical tension, progressive overload, recovery, protein, time. There is no injection for that. Before you optimize hormones, are you sleeping 7 to 8 hours a night, walking daily, training close to failure, tracking your intake honestly, doing cardio for your heart? Or are you outsourcing effort? Yeah. AI workouts, okay, personal trainers here. AI workouts won't fix weak execution, half reps, poor form, inconsistent training. Technology doesn't replace standards.
Oh.
Cardio isn't outdated. Your heart doesn't care about trends. Zone 2 work, this is talking to me. Conditioning, being athletic. Aesthetics without health don't last. Strength training isn't sexy. It's controlled reps, full range of motion, training near technical failure week after week. That's how muscle is built. Clean eating isn't restrictive. It's foundational. Protein, micronutrients, stable energy, repeatability. Basics build physiques. The industry sells complexity because confusion is profitable. The basics don't trend, but they work every single time. Bring back effort, cardio, real lifting, sleep, standards, master the fundamentals, then earn the right to talk about advanced. That was it. So
Wow.
Could be like a whole podcast.
I'm just going to leave that where it is. So,
yeah.
good one.
I saw that yesterday and I was like, oh, yeah.
Yeah, this has got to be said.
Because we are in a quick fix society. Yeah. And
that is also not fully honest.
Mm-hmm.
That brings it home.
Yeah.
I love it. All right, friends. Well, you have your action items. You have your action items around your personal life, around your workplace, around your environment, around community, all of the things. Take time, be honest, be truthful. The best thing you can do for yourself is to be honest with yourself. And once you do that, there is this awakening that happens that will absolutely change your life and your trajectory. We so appreciate you joining us for our podcast today. Thank you. And we are at 282 followers, subscribers on YouTube. We're trying to get to 300, friends.
Share with one.
Please share. We're not that far away, and we would love to hit 300 by the end of the month. So if you could help us out there, we would love it. The Woman Warrior Academy. And I think that's it.
Okay.
All right, friends. AWP, check it out. GLP-1 program, check it out. Subscribe on YouTube. Listen to us on Spotify. Share the podcast. Go to our website, www.thewomanwarrioracademy.com, and we will see you next time. May your soul be victorious.
Jai Bhagwan.
Jai Bhagwan.
Is life hard? Yeah, it's really fucking hard. And you can also have the life it is that you want. You just got to work for it.